Well, if it ain't one thing, it's another. For the third time, I have taken and flown the motor and the motor mount clean off of a Delta, Foam Delta. It's getting a little old. I have tried just about every glue I can think of, but as you can see, the motor and the mount tore themselves away quite cleanly from the Delta. So I am thinking that I've got to come up with a solution. And I'm rather thinking that the solution may involve these little things. These are called blind nuts. They're basically a kind of a threaded collar attached to a washer-like backing. It's all one piece actually, with little detents cut and bent up out of the washer-like backing. You then take a plastic bolt. In this case it's a 1/4 by 20, I believe, and these bolts can pass through, I'm hoping in this case, the motor mount, and then the blind nuts on the other side hold it fast. In my case, what I'm hoping to do is to drill 2 1/4-inch holes right through the metal motor mount that I use and the plastic gift card that it's mounted with. I will have re-glued the motor mount and gift card back onto the front end of the Delta, probably using Gorilla Glue again. Only this time, when I cut the hole through the motor mount, I will then run a plastic bolt down through the hole. There's a sufficient head on there that it should be able to hold well, and I will mount the blind nut up through what is in this case a double layer of foam, and I may or may not use another gift card on the other side, the underside, to help spread the force. Actually, I think that might be an excellent idea. So, I'm going to give that a try and see whether I can manage to keep my electric motors connected to my Delta. Just checked the weight. It kind of looks like I will be adding not more than 10 grams. 2 of the plastic bolts and 2 of the blind nuts with the bolts at full length make up 10 grams. I'll be using a Dremel or something and cutting the bolts down so that they're basically just flush. So that's rather good news. Okay, well, it looks like, by my estimation, that has just worked like a darn. What I did was measure the shank on the blind nuts. It came out to 0.288 inches, which is just about, but not quite, 19/64ths of an inch. And so I drilled 2 holes, 19/64ths of an inch, right through the mount and the card that I had mounted it on, and through another card on the bottom, which I'm using to spread the force, I think, of the blind nuts. I didn't get it on quite straight, but that's something I'll remember next time. Then I ran the bolts through and sucked the blind nuts with their little crimp teeth into the card and pulled them up tight, and then used my trusty Japanese saw to shear off the excess bolt that was sticking through the mount. And I believe I now have a mount which should stay attached to my big Yeller Delta. Anyways, now I'm going to go for a fly, and I'm going to crank some really tight loops and throw some G-forces at this arrangement and see whether or not she does in fact stand up to the strain. Thanks a million. Thanks for watching. Mackenzie out.